Let's cut open that egg yolk. Oh, I can tell it's still soft. See that? Oh. Today we're leveling up breakfast with one of my all-time favorites. It has perfectly poached eggs, rich hollandaise sauce, and crispy homemade hash browns. Let's get cooking. Welcome back to the Chef2k kitchen. I'm a Red Seal certified chef, and I think you already know what we're cooking today, Eggs Benedict. But do not let this one scare you. We're gonna keep it easy, fast, and super delicious. If you're ready to bring some restaurant-style breakfast right into your kitchen, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. So first things first, we'll get a poaching pot set up. I got a nice pot here. Sometimes it's nice to just rub a little bit of olive oil on the bottom of the pot before you go. It helps so you're not gonna get that stick when you poach the eggs. So we'll put a little in there. We'll just rub that in, just so it's in there. We'll use a paper towel. So that's ready. Now we're just gonna take that over to the sink, about a little less than halfway full. You don't wanna have too much water there. You wanna be able to get the eggs nicely. You don't wanna have to fight with them. So I use about a little less than half a pot. And we're gonna dump in about, I'd say, a quarter cup of white vinegar. That's gonna keep the eggs from separating when they go in the water. So it's very important. You always need to add an acid to the water if you're poaching eggs. Okay, now we're just gonna put a little bit of water in this. We only need it about 2 inches up, that's it. This is for the double boiler. We're gonna put our ceramic bowl on top of that, and that's how we're gonna make our hollandaise sauce. All right, so we got the water in there, not too much. This is the bowl that we're gonna use. This is an old school bowl. This goes right back to my mom's house. What you need to make sure is that that water is not touching the bottom of the bowl when it sits on top of the pot. You want that water well away from the bottom of the bowl. We don't want this to get too hot, too rapid, and split our sauce. That's the biggest problem with making hollandaise sauce, is it can break if you add the butter too fast or you heat it up too fast. All right, we're just gonna take that stick of butter, throw it in our other pot here. We're gonna put that really low. We're just gonna let it do its thing over the next little bit while we're putting everything together. Hollandaise sauce is the second last thing I do before poaching. Okay, we're gonna get that egg yolk. We're gonna use 1 egg yolk and we're gonna get that into the bowl and let that start to come to room temperature. So we're gonna separate our yolk from our whites. Okay, perfect. Into the bowl it goes. We'll set this aside. I'll always find something to do with egg whites. So. All right, this is where all the magic is gonna happen. We've got our hollandaise station set up, we've got our poaching station set up, and we got our butter starting to melt. All right, we've got all of our stations set up over here in the cooking section. We're gonna get a little bit of prep that we need. It's not a lot of prep for this breakfast, you'd be surprised. We're gonna shave some ham, we're gonna cut these into little chunks, and we're gonna cook these up on the flat top over there. Hash browns are about $5 a bag. We get these 2 potatoes, like we're looking at about 90 cents here, guys. It's a no-brainer, and they're way better. All right, we're gonna cube up the hash browns, take those potatoes, slice it down, about a 1/4 inch. Then we're gonna cut it into French fries, and then we're gonna cut it into little cubes. Simple. Simple, but it's gonna save a lot of money. All right, we got them in French fries. Now we're just gonna cut them into little chunks. This is a good size. You don't wanna spend all day cooking hash browns. They'll cook a lot faster the smaller you do them. All right, guys, we've got them ready. Take a look. Perfect size. We're gonna get these in a bowl. It's breakfast. We don't wanna go crazy. We don't wanna be adding garlic and all that stuff. Basic salt and pepper is the perfect seasoning for those breakfast potatoes. Olive oil. Okay, salt and pepper. Like I always say, guys, pour the salt in your hand and then add it with your fingers, because you don't want to just dump a bunch of salt in. You can't take it out, but you can always add more. So there we go. Here's the pepper. Toss them up. Cooking is about evenly distributing your flavors. Set that aside for a second. We're gonna take it over to our flat top. We're just gonna get our ham ready first. I like to use a nice Black Forest ham. Real thin. I don't like to have big ham steaks. We'll pile up a bit of it. Got that. Now we'll just cut these open. So we're just using the classic English muffin, guys. I use the sourdough leaven one. I like that sourdough taste. So that's all good. We're just gonna cut this lemon in half. We're gonna add that to the hollandaise sauce. We're gonna make sure our white wine vinegar is opened up. We're gonna start frothing that right away. All right, guys, we've got our stations set up. We're gonna do everything here from here on out. We're gonna start off with the Hollandaise sauce. So we're gonna take about 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar in with that egg yolk. I'd say about 1.5 tablespoons. Then we're gonna take that fresh lemon, make sure that there's no seeds, there's none right here. We're gonna drip about, I'd say 2 teaspoons. And then we're gonna hit that with our whisk, and we wanna just whisk this together till it's getting that froth. You guys will see. You see the bubbles starting to form? See that froth on top right there? That's exactly what you're looking for. Next thing, the longest thing to cook is gonna be the potatoes. So we're just gonna throw these on the flat top. They're already seasoned. There's oil on them. They're gonna sizzle and pop. All right. Get a little olive oil on there. Help crisp them up. We've got the flat top on a pretty high heat. It's about 400 degrees. We want to crisp these up. We're gonna take a bowl, set it over, let them do their thing. Check. Oh. That steam is gonna help them go, guys, and then we'll do the final crisping after. But you can see they're already getting some nice color. Make sure to keep checking it, not over checking it. We want to use that steam to cook them, but you don't want to burn them. So give them a couple minutes, toss them up, put the bowl back on, and we'll go from there. Look at the color. They're starting to get there. Before we take that butter and start adding it into the sauce, we're gonna take our English muffins and we're just gonna go on the top and get them nice and buttery. And that's gonna help get some of that fat off the top of the butter too. Bam, bam. All right, we've flipped these English muffins. They got a nice color. We'll get some crisp on both sides. And we're just gonna set those aside. The last thing we'll do is the ham. After that, we'll be ready to go. Ready? Let's get the Hollandaise sauce. Now, Hollandaise sauce is scary for a lot of people, and I get it. It's definitely intimidating. If you don't do it right, it can split on you. But the best way I can tell you guys to do it is use that double boiler, watch the heat, and just add the butter slowly. Make sure you're incorporating that butter into that yolk mixture as you're pouring it in. You don't want to see any loose lines of butter. Get it all in there as you go. All right, here we go. We got our butter, that there. Just keep adding that butter until you feel it start to thicken. Once it starts to thicken, you're there. You don't want this too thick. We want it to run down. We don't want it to just blob on the top of the eggs. See it? It's thickened up. Run that down. So we're done with our double boiler. We can get this out of here. Next thing, guys, we're gonna heat up that ham and poach the eggs. All right, let's check on those potatoes again. We're probably ready to almost take those bad boys off. Yes, that's country fried potatoes. That's how we do it in Alberta. There's so many variations you guys can do with this. You guys can add onions and caramelize them in with that. There's a lot of versatility with this. I like to just go basic. We're going basic breakfast potatoes. Salt, pepper, potato, and that beautiful crispiness. All right, guys, hash browns are done. Take a look at those bad boys. We got lots of color on them. They're perfectly soft. We're just gonna set them in that bowl we've been steaming them in. So we don't want them to really cook anymore, but we're gonna keep them warm for plating. Okay, final step, guys, we're gonna poach those eggs. We wanna make sure that this pot is simmering. Take a peek, simmering. We do not want this boiling. It has to be a simmer. If that's a hard boil, it's gonna throw your eggs all over the place. They're gonna look messy. That's not how you do it. We got a simmer here, vinegar's in. We're gonna lay the eggs in nicely, throw the ham on, and then we're gonna put this together. Get that egg down close to the water. Let it hit that water. Boom. Perfect. Don't disturb those. We're gonna let them do their thing. Obviously, check in periodically. You do not want to overcook them. As far as I'm concerned, part of the dish is that runny egg yolk running down to finish it all off, okay? So we won't really play with these at all. They're already lifting. Perfect. Let's get the ham on. Last thing. Boom, let that do its thing. I don't like any extra water on that poached egg when I plate it, so I always take them from here onto the paper towel, then we pick and plate from there. You can see they're all nice and separated. So just get that slotted spoon underneath one, bring it up a little bit, touch it. You can tell whether it's at what you want. Ham's almost done. We're gonna pull that off. We don't want to overcook it. Just warm it up, get a little color on it. Now let's check these eggs. I'm guessing they're ready to go. See that, guys? You want them to still have that jelly push because you want that egg to pop. They're still gonna cook a little bit while they sit here for a second and we get the plates ready, so. Okay, everything's ready, guys. Now we're gonna get to my favorite part of every single episode that we do, plating and then tasting. Let's get it. Okay, guys, here we go. Okay, guys, last step. Let's do this. We're gonna take our English muffin. We're gonna take a little bit of that Hollandaise sauce, spread it on the bottom, put that down. Then we're gonna lay some ham down. Eggs, handle them, they're hot, ouch. All right, now we're gonna add that beautiful Hollandaise sauce right over top of that yolk. We're gonna get it on there. Let it run down. That's it, guys. Now we're gonna add a little bit of potato. Okay, guys, there it is. This right here is a restaurant quality breakfast that will blow any guest you have away, even your kids, I promise. All right, everybody, we have arrived. We are about to taste this bad boy. Let's see what we think. Let's cut open that egg yolk. Oh, I can tell it's still soft. See that? Oh. Look at that egg yolk run down there. That is part of the flavor. That's part of the dish for me. Okay, let's dig in. This is my all-time favorite breakfast for a reason. I love that fresh tart Hollandaise sauce in the morning. It's perfect. Everything accompanies each other perfectly. Let's try these potatoes. They look great. Color's great.
So good and tasty.
You're not gonna get a finished product on hash browns like that out of a frozen bag of chunked hash browns. There's no way. And we're saving about $5 for the process. How can you go wrong? That's it, guys. We've got your homemade Eggs Benedict right here. It's got a rich, tart Hollandaise sauce, crispy homemade hash browns, and perfectly poached eggs.
Nice.
This right here is the ultimate breakfast treat. And trust me, once you make this, you won't need to go to a breakfast restaurant again, I promise. All right, another episode in the books. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of our tasty recipes and tips along the way. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments what dish you want to see me tackle next. I'll catch you guys next time.